This is Leaf Katano, and joining me today is Return of Master Crazy Hand.
Hello.
And today Hold on. Yeah, today we'll be playing Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.
And hopefully, if we finish it, we'll move on to new mystery, but who knows?
Yep. Do note that we are playing a modified version of this. This has been patched, so we don't have to go through dumb gating requirements. So we get to see all the chapters. Hold on. Can I mute this?
I can't see the stream.
Oh, it's showing up for me.
Maybe it's just my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can.
Yeah.
Carry on. Touch to start.
Yeah. Yeah. So new game, normal mode,
Yep.
and tutorials. We're doing normal mode.
That prologue.
Yep.
We're also going to do that new mystery as well because that tells the backstory of Chris.
Can you skip the tutorial in New Mystery though? I haven't played it enough. But yeah, if you do hard mode, you can't watch this prologue, or at least like the chapters following.
Well, I was going to do the prologue in new mystery if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
If I just need to set up my own OBS. I wish I could. Anyway, so this is telling the backstory better than the original game, where it was mostly implied and you had to wait on the title screen.
Yeah. So basically, there was this dragon guy being an evil jerk, and someone killed him, and now he's being an evil jerk again. So people are trying to kill him again.
And you'll find out why he was being an evil jerk later in the game. He actually has a good reason for it. Or was that new mystery?
I think that might have been this game. I'm not quite sure.
Me neither. Anyway, so unlike Fire Emblem the original Mysteries Book 1, this contains the chapters that were cut from said Book 1. Like
Yeah.
the original game.
It's basically the new complete remake of this game, the definitive version, if you will.
Yeah. And whereas regular Mystery Book 2 only has one remake, and that's the next game in the franchise. I'm personally excited for that upcoming Gaiden remake.
Oh yeah, that definitely looks cool, and it's great. It's especially great that they're preserving all of the mechanics.
Yeah, because Gaiden was cool on paper but poor in practice.
And now we see Mars moving around, you know, like dude, I am Mars.
You can either click or use your buttons
I
in this game.
am probably going to be clicking a lot. Why? I don't know.
Why is he on low health?
What? He's not on low health. He's on perfect health.
Oh, sorry, Mesh. I looked at the green, not the yellow. I forgot.
Yep.
Then we get Arcadia Empire. Oh, Gra.
Yeah, it's Gra. Yeah, Gra's being the jerks right now. Gra's always jerks. They're just not really cool. They're not cool at all.
Well, in the sequel, if you don't kill any of their enemies, they can join you.
Yeah. But currently, they're just jerks.
Yeah.
Also a bit late, but shout out to Truth Seeker for coming in.
Cool. How do you do TS?
Alright, so since Romich is watching indirectly from the stream because I don't know how else to show it to him, we are currently faced with 2 axe users. And, so yeah, we got right now...
And there's a weapon triangle, so we can easily beat them because they're axes.
Yep, this is another huge difference from the original way. Where axes were naturally bad. Now they're bad. Now they're naturally bad, and Mars can kick their ass easily.
Not only that, but we have the pre-battle screen, which was introduced in the original mystery.
Oh yes, that is definitely good. Especially since it uses the newer... Anyway, newer, like, simplified version. Anyway, we can kill this guy in one hit, so let's do that.
Yeah. It's got all the stuff from improvements from mystery and genealogy and Farsia, pretty much.
Yep.
In other words, the SNES trio.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Also, again, shout out to Mayness, who is joining us.
I didn't see her say anything. It might be my stream, though. My internet kind of gets choppy when it says stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Twitch in the background.
Oh, so she didn't say anything.
Yeah, she did not.
That makes sense, then. Because sometimes, I remember when I was watching one of May's streams, you and TS and Joey were saying stuff, and none of them, and over half the stuff would show up.
Yeah.
A little under half wouldn't.
Anyway, we have easily killed that guy. Which is somewhat strange because we're at the disadvantage this time.
Weapon.
But that just goes to show that the weapon triangle is not all-encompassing.
Yeah, we just commented on that, TS.
Gosh. Anyway, so yeah. Swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beats, swords, yes.
Swords. And bow is just in the middle.
Yeah, both are just weird. I really liked the Fate's weapon triangle more, because that lets bows actually be relevant.
It incorporates the magic weapon triangle into the regular weapon triangle.
Yeah, except this time, magic users actually get to affect things that aren't other magic users. And that's why I don't like that the Heroes doesn't use Fate's weapon triangle.
Yeah, but Shadows of Valencia probably will.
Oh god, I hope so. Although maybe not, because magic was also really weird in that game. It's something we gotta see. Anyway,
Plus, I'm pretty certain they're probably gonna drop Phoenix, but keep casual.
I really wouldn't care either way. Anyway, shown on top screen right now is the victory condition for the whole game. Seize. Or maybe not the gating chapters. I'm not sure.
Usually route the enemy maps.
Yeah. It's somewhat better, but it's still really tedious after a while. Anyway, we gotta kill the guy guarding the throne, and then have Mars seize it. It has to be Mars.
It's better than just plain old defeat the boss, because if you defeat the boss, the chapter ends then and there, and you aren't given an opportunity to recuperate after defeating him.
Yeah, Seize lets some shenanigans still be going on. Also, unrelated, but Mars has leveled up. HP +1, speed +1. You could do way better, Mars. I'm just saying.
Not only that, but it doesn't help that it barely is won this game compared to the game after and the 2 games before.
Yeah.
Had him in it.
This is worse to Mars.
FE1, he was completely broken, and in FE3, he still was broken, but less broken. FE12, he was actually usable.
Yep. And since Mars messed up that counterattack, we gotta waste
our turn.
Yes. It takes one more turn than it should. You had one job, Mars, but no, you just had to miss a guy sitting on a throne.
Orcus on his throne.
Yes. Anyway, this is Mars' sister. She's like Princess Leia. She is not.
Yeah, because they actually know.
I was thinking more like she's a complete wimp, but whatever.
Oh. That makes sense.
Yep.
Anyway, so... Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff going on in the game. There will be stuff, I mean, especially in the later chapters.
Spoilers, Romich. Spoilers. Anyway.
I just said stuff.
Yeah.
I left it vague.
Right.
So yeah.
Mars' father is dead.
We will have to let someone die in this prologue.
Right.
However, they turn out all well and good in the next game, and that's why the young staff can't revive them. Is because they weren't dead to begin with.
Yes. But enough about things to come. Let's focus on the things that are.
Okay,
Speaking,
sure.
like, these guys. This guy is new to the remake, and he's the only guy you'll have to meet. But right now... Yeah, right now... Abel's not new. He's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, he's even in chapter 1 of the original.
Yep.
Oh, the Nintendo ad's going on according to my dad's friend.
Oh, cool.
I just heard him from upstairs saying more Nintendo. Well, that's the only ad I would watch on the Super Bowl this year because the ads have slowly been getting worse, which is kind of sad because Super Bowl ads are probably the only reason you'd watch it.
Yeah, it's the only reason I'd watch it. Alright, so...
I remember back when they had stuff like the Simpsons Coke ad. That one was amazing.
Alright, so...
The original Super Bowl ad was also probably the most amazing ad of all time. The 1984 ad by Apple.
Alright, so... These new guys are cavaliers. They ride horses, and as such, they are really cool. They also have swords and lances, so... Oh, in this game, they are Mars superior in every way.
Yeah. Not only that, but they move farther because they're horses.
Yes. Of course, the only disadvantage is that there's weapons specifically designed to beat them. But that's not as... I don't know. Alright, so let's...
Killers are not common.
Yep.
You're more likely to find a worm slayer, which is more for Draco Knights and Falco Knights.
I don't think that Falco Knights are affected by them. Actually, I think worm killers are only for mana. Spoilers.
No, they work on Draco Knights too, I recall.
Oh, well, I don't know. Oh. I don't know what I expected, but somehow I'm still disappointed.
than we thought.
Yes.
Not only that, but if they usually have a name in the portrait, that means they're either a boss, or B, you have to recruit them. Or both.
Anyway, I'd like to point out that a useful thing for trying to, make sure archers don't kill you is the danger feature. You can either turn it on individually for each unit, or you can hit...
Press X to turn it all on.
Yep. Alright, so let's have Abel attack this guy with his javelin so he can counter the archer. And then Frey up here will finish off the Gra soldier with his iron sword.
Only 30 EXP?
I think that's just standard kill EXP in this game.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Boss kills is usually a level in 10.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why we chose the javelin.
Yep. And let's have Oh wait, no. Let's not have Mars finish him off. Rapier uses are not as precious as in future games, but still, like, really nice to keep. Instead, let's have him, like, poke this boss-ish guy. He's not really a boss, because he has no portrait. And since we don't need him to prepare for counters, let's just kill this guy with an iron sword. Oh.
Was that no damage counter?
Yeah, it was no damage because he was a bow user.
Are we gonna kill all enemies?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I mean, it is a prologue map.
Blood for the blood god! Skulls for the skull throne! Or something like that, I don't know.
You really love those Warhammer memes, don't you?
Yes. I have never played Warhammer before in my life, but...
I remember one of my friends does. We have a store for buying Warhammer stuff from at my local mall.
Alright, so, Frey has leveled up, and he's done way better than Mars. HP up, strength up, speed up, and luck up. Strength, that's like...
pretty much every stat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the really good stats, because strength not only increases the damage you deal, but it also lets you, like...
And plus luck, as we all know, is crit chance.
No, it's just crit negation in this game. Skill is crit chance.
Still, that's pretty good, because crit negation is very useful for RNG goddess.
Crit negation is very useful. Alright, so Mars has seized, so it's next chapter time.
Woohoo!
I say next chapter, but there's still a epilogue-ish thing. And that is Jagen, the most useless character anywhere. I mean, there's probably more useless characters. But...
if you want to be a crutch.
He wants to be a crutch, but he's not a very good one. He's like a crutch that, like, snaps in half every so often. And then also stops being useful, like, really soon. In fact, he might not even be useful at all ever. What I'm saying is Jagen sucks.
He's supposed to be the original Crotch, though.
Yes, but he's bad.
Maybe in this game. I'm not sure about the older ones.
This is the only game he's in. Well, I think he might have been even worse in the original, but it's not in the sequels because he's old.
I know that. I meant the original.
Yeah, he's like way worse in the original. Some of his growths are like 0.
Oh. Then that's bad.
Yeah.
Because at least later Jagens could still remain useful to late game, especially ones like Frederick.
Yeah, those are what are called oifes, after the guy in Genealogy of the Holy War, who, as he said, is already promoted, but he still stays useful. Of course, how promotion works in Genealogy probably contributes to that, but that's another topic. Okay, and I trust you can put off...
Genealogy was weird, but it worked.
Yeah.
Gaiden.
Yeah. Okay, and I trust you can put off bleeding to death for just a while longer? Of course, sir. I aim to please. I don't know, I like that line.
Well, this game had some pretty good lines, like how Cadia smooth talk a lot of the armies, a lot of recruitments, and one guy even fell in love with her, and Mars' response was just to be like Red.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one? I think it was Joseph or someone.
Oh, spoilers.
It was someone from Gra, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was. But Cadia smooth talks to him, he falls in love with her, and Mars' response is just dots.
And that happens a lot. Well, I mean, not the dots, the kind of smooth talking.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ask me, this localization was actually the fine point of the game, other than gameplay. Because it made what was probably a bare bones game a lot better.
Yeah.
Similar to Final Fantasy VI's localization.
Yes.
Well, not quite that far, but still. You get the point, right?
Right.
Final Fantasy VI, that localization was probably one of the textbook examples of how to do a good one.
Yep.
If not the textbook example. As for the anti-textbook example, we have Revelations Persona.
Yeah, don't use that as your guide to translating. It does not work well.
Yeah.
Of course, Revelations Persona wasn't exactly a good game in the first place, but...
Map, need I say more?
Yes.
But Revelations Persona, the only thing that was kept when they redid the translation for the PSP remake was Mark Dance Crazy!
Yes.
I personally prefer Mark Dance destructively. Because that just sounds so wrong. I remember one time when you were doing your LP of that. You're like, no, not that way, Mark!
Yep. Alright, so, despite what Jagen said, anyone can visit houses. So we'll use him to visit houses. Because I don't want to use
Only
him.
Mark can visit villages is what he meant to say.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I'm glad they finally fixed that in Awakening. That was one of the problems with every game until then.
I'm pretty sure that... I want to say only the games Mars was in had that be the law.
That'd be 6 and 7 if the GBA trio, if I recall.
I'm not sure about that, but... Alright, so now we...
removed them though, so that we can't count those ones.
Now we have Kane and oh wait, no, we already had about. Yeah, we have Kane and Jagen under our command, which basically means we have Kane under our command and Jagen as our saddle-ish or crutch. I don't know.
Still got more than we had in the entirety of Chapter 1 of the original game.
No, we still have less because we're missing like Drog and Kaida.
Wise was recruitable in that chapter.
Yes, him too. But it's like one less, I think. Oh, and Gordon. 2 less.
Yeah. Wasn't Gordon the older brother of one of those characters?
I think he was the younger brother. Or no, you're right.
And the younger brother was introduced in New Mystery.
Yep. Also, Abel has managed to be even worse than Mars on this level, with only speed. Granted, speed's still a really good stat to get, because speed is really nice, but...
And plus it got a kill on enemy phase, which is really useful.
Yes.
Well, this is kind of awkward.
Yep.
So what are you planning on doing?
I plan to lie in wait. Something that the game hasn't mentioned about is that, forests and other sorts of terrain can, affect your, like, evasion and defense.
So, and other stuff like movement.
Oh, wait, no, it's mentioning it right now. It mentioned movement, but... So let's have Mars go stabby on this archer, I guess, ish. He's doing a really bad job.
I also remember... Hey, I remember back in when I tried Phoenix mode for the one and only time on Conquest Chapter 10.
Yep.
I kept going Leroy Jenkins. Because how else would you play that mode?
Anyway, this level up is actually good for Mars. It's really good because he has defense, but he also got strength and speed and HP. Keep it up, Mars.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yes. I mean, we can't bench you because you're the Lord, but I'll bench you in spirit.
Yeah. At least they made him a proper unit in New Mystery.
Yeah.
He's decent.
Also, I'd like to point out that I am visiting this house, which mentions Jagen, in the same with Jagen. I mean, what the hey, man? Do you not recognize who he is? I guess this is a...
Most games have stuff like that if you visit with the person they're talking about.
I guess that this is a good reason for Mars to be the only guy who can visit villages, is because they don't have to do because then stupid stuff like that doesn't happen.
And they don't have to come up with that and things to everything for every single person.
Yeah. Anyway, Frey is really good, and I like him. Seriously, look at him. Look at him stab everything to death. It's beautiful. Freaking beautiful. Let's have... I don't know who this is. All of these sprites are the same.
Stabby.
I think that was useful, I guess. Maybe.
It's usually good to get a division houses in case there's items in said house.
I don't think houses ever have items. They're just information sources.
Oh. Well, villages definitely have items.
Yes! Always go to villages.
And that's a thief destroys them. In which case, you're screwed.
Yeah, and if a thief destroys the village and reset, otherwise you're not a true Fire Emblem fan. I'm not sure what we'll do for this game, but no, that's cheating.
In New Mystery, it makes it a lot worse.
Why are you cheating by using a hand axe? Let's ignore the fact that I could use a javelin. That's cheating. Stop cheating.
Well, we know what they say. Computer is a cheating bastard.
I feel personally betrayed. I mean, I really have no reason to, because that is actually in the law. Because that is actually in the completely valid to do, but he was attacking with a hand axe.
Stop cheating. that was stupid. Remember how in the original game they had a weapon level stat?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that worked it made there were some things about it that that was good in Mystery of the Emblem, because it had that whole dismounting thing, but it wasn't. Otherwise, it was just kind of there. It was basically decoration, because it was really easy to get to.
10.
Yeah, it was really easy to get to the max level you needed for stuff.
And that's, of course, if we're going for the Falcon or any other holy swords.
I think that those were even pretty low as well.
They were like 15 and 20.
Oh, the stat cap's 20, but I don't know. Alright, so yes. Mars mentioned this, but mages are jerks.
Remember how in that game there was that when you recruit Camus, the chapter before you get his sword and he can use it right away in the next chapter in FE1?
What? No. No, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about at all. That's half. No. No. Stop this.
Why?
It's spoilers. Although I don't think you could recruit him.
You could, I think.
I think you just.
Oh, it wasn't Camus, it was someone else.
Yeah. Seriously, stop that.
But either way, you got his sword. It was a silver sword. You were supposed to give it to him in the next chapter, since he had a weapon level stat equal to that could use it. But in the sequel,
he can't.
Introduction of weapon mastery levels. I mean, in the remake, they decided instead that he somehow should be a B or something like that, for a C for balance, and the sword be a B.
Yeah, I mean, it's relatively fair, because in this game there are bonuses to leveling up your weapon and stat beyond rank C, but on the other hand, that's still really dumb.
Yeah. Not only that, but the balance. Not only that, but he can't even use his own sword according to the chapter before, unless he levels up his weapon.
Alright, so I'll point out another reason why mages are jerks. They hit resistance, not defense.
And they have their own strength stat as well.
Oh yeah, but that's not really relevant to our purposes.
And
It is relevant. It is relevant to our attacking resistance is relevant to our purposes, however, because in case you haven't noticed, no one on this team has a freaking resistance stat besides Jagen, but he doesn't count. Because I've decided he doesn't. Because I hate him.
game is that maybe we should send Jagen after that guy just in case.
No. I'll kill him. With Mars. See? See? No problem. No problem here. And seize.
But keep in mind, mages also have the same attack patterns as both archers and standard units.
Yeah, that's again, really annoying. Mages are dicks.
Unless you're playing as one.
Well, yeah, but that makes it mildly better. But
also note that every single siege chapter ends on a fort, so the bosses heal themselves just the same way you do.
yep. Gotta make it that little bit harder.
Yeah.
What kind of sentence is that?
Kind of a dick.
Drink deeply now of these injustices. Sup on the slights they serve. Remember them. What kind of sentence is that? Why would you talk like that?
And now Marv is being kind of a jerk. Trying to save his sister instead of everyone.
Well, I mean, he's also like 12. I'm not sure. I don't think that's even an exaggeration.
He does have a burden on his shoulders, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
It only makes his marriage in the next game much weirder at that.
Well, I mean, he's not 12 by then.
But he's still pretty young. He's only of age in Japanese terms.
Well, yeah, but this is like faux medieval world. So I think it would also be legal then.
Yeah. The one that was really perplexing is why Nor allowed it when they easily banned it. And that led to the adult "you're technically our" speech, which backfired on them.
Yeah. Ah.
I actually think Treehouse did a slightly good job with Fates, because they lessened the brand's favoritism and gave all the Hoshido characters noticeable flaws. It made Conquest less of a "you chose the wrong path" sort of thing.
Listen, in story terms, I don't care how much of the wrong path Conquest is. It is easily superior in terms of gameplay. Frick, Hoshido can go die. Its Conquest is where it's at.
I know, that's what I'm saying is that's why I think Treehouse did a good job lessening the "you chose the wrong path" sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's because they knew everyone would side with Nor anyway.
Yes.
Or Vala and spoilers, or Revelation if they want to get everyone. I'm afraid I'm gonna disappear now. Get it?
Mm.
Also, one person said the reason why you couldn't do that spoiler outside that spoiler's location is because, well, it's supposed to be a spoiler, so that's the reason why.
So they have weaponized spoiler alerts. Amazing.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I can't believe someone actually figured that out.
Alright, so this is the final chapter of the prologue. So, yeah. That's
That's
gonna...
the one where we have to let someone die.
Shh! Don't that make me turn you into Bubbles.
No, Bubbles, no! Remember that?
But no.
It's a comic that someone made of Red trying to catch Corin, calling it Bubbles.
Oh.
Turns out Corin was not actually a water dragon Pokemon after all.
Truly the most disappointing part of all this. Anyway, Mars has leveled up again, and he continues to disappoint me.
At least he got a higher HP.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's better, I guess. Of course, it's in the long term, it's not as good, but it's probably the best defense we're going to get against mages, so I'll take it. And then Kane just sort of outclasses him completely. I knew I could trust in you, Kane.
And plus, I remember seeing this list of potential achievements for Fire Emblem. Since if the Lord dies, get an instant game over. One of the achievements was go play Final Fantasy Tactics Advance or something if you get 3 game overs by the Lord dying on the same map. That was what one guy named his achievement. It was like, have the Lord die 3 times on the same map. And he was making fun of how Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is probably the easiest strategic RPG anyone can name.
Yeah.
Regardless of how good it was.
Yeah, that was really easy.
Yeah. I had a friend who never beat Tactics Advance, but somehow beat the much harder regular Tactics.
I'm not sure if... I mean, I guess before Thunder God Sid, maybe, but not... but after Thunder God Sid, the game really gets broken. And even then, but if you have, like, the right... If you have, like, a calculator or whatever, then...
Which one? Advance or original?
Original.
Yeah. I've never played original, not even the PSP version, but I really want to.
Yeah.
Especially since the PS1 version supposedly has a very bad translation.
Yep. Defeat Dysodarg's elder brother when Dysodarg is the elder brother.
Not only that, this guy are sick, but wasn't that 7?
Yeah, that was 7.
7 also had a bad one compared to the stellar 6s.
Yeah.
But that one's mainly typo, so I can't complain there. What, Dad?
I heard Gordon's here. That's that guy. He's Gordon.
Yeah, the older brother.
Yep.
Oh, it's that one guy. It's those 2 guys of Fire Emblem.
Yep.
Because they always have that. They always have those 2 thugs that / ruffians / thieves / whatever that are in pretty much every game, like Fates and Awakening and stuff.
I think that this is just a generic one.
Oh, but you know who I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying that this isn't that guy.
Okay. Did he just call him Goggles?
Yep. It's because he's gagged. That's why it was making the roof, roof noises rather than, like, speaking.
Wow. And you had one job, Jagen. Was that Jagen?
No, that Jagen's the guy with the shield.
Okay.
Alright, so Mars is in position. Let's open the door. And... Oh, wait, no.
I know when it's going to be released at. the way, I'm streaming with a friend, Dad, so please don't interrupt.
Alright, so after that, here's Gordon. We can talk to him. Don't kill him. I mean, you can kill him, but... And he did actually say, Yow, it's an enemy ambush.
Is that who we're gonna leave for Dad?
What, Jagen? Yeah. I mean, technically, canonically, it's Frey, because he doesn't appear in if you do hard mode, because he's cool. Way too cool, but...
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm not sure if anybody caught it, but... Oh. No. But Frey managed to pick up an iron bow. So let's trade that to Jagen. So Jagen can trade it to... Wait, no. Oh, yeah, that's right. Gordon!
Oh, we could have also traded, yeah, oh, no, wait. We already used Mark's turn.
Yeah. Wait, there was an item Mark had. No, we couldn't.
This is exactly like the fight. He never forgets, just misplaces stuff.
Yep. Uh-oh.
He was actually one of my best characters in Awakening for some reason.
Who?
Vi.
Oh yeah, I don't think... That's not that unusual. Anyway, this is the sacrifice.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we got...
What does Ground Rust have similar names?
Yep. Anyway, we gotta place one of our guys who isn't Mars there. And...
We can choose Marth, but it leads to an instant game over.
Well, no, I think that it's just... I think he's just... Maladis is just like, slap. What are you doing, boy? Or, like, something sort of like that. Something in the spirit of that. And Mars is like, naive. Oh, I can save everyone. Which is right outside of this one specific circumstance. Well. Alright, so let's take a look at these guys.
And the thing is, he doesn't part with them because they're not truly dead.
Oh, yes. But yeah, there is no way in hell we'd be able to beat these, even if we had good Mars with like a decent amount of rapier uses left.
We could if we had.
Well, yeah, but how do you want? All right, so first let's take all of Jagen's stuff. He won't be needing it where he's gone. I think it might get dumped into inventory anyway, but better safe than sorry. Alright, so we can't actually get him there this turn, so let's just proceed forward with everyone else who we actually like. And yes, Mars is back there because we don't like him. What? Oh, we forgot Frey. Whoops.
You just sent Frey?
Oh, no, I didn't send Frey. I forgot to move Frey forward.
Because I was all like, that would have been his mistake.
Yeah, Frey's actually really good. Definitely better than Jagen.
Yeah.
decoy. Make this unit a decoy. Fire, allow me.
I like how in FF2, if you manage to beat the first battle of the game, you either get a heads out win, tails you lose in the later remakes, or return to the title screen in the earlier versions.
I mean, of course, because there's no reason to. If you defeat the enemies at the beginning of the game, there's no reason to actually do any of the story. Thus, nothing happens. Or, I guess you also technically...
Leon doesn't join the Empire, the Farion and the other two don't have their home destroyed.
Well, I mean, they do still have their home destroyed, but they don't have any reason to, like... I don't know.
Join the rebellion.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm not sure how they could mistake a aging old man with gray hair for Mars. He was like 12, but... Hey, whatever. No skin off my nose.
Maybe he's wearing a wig. A really bad wig at that. Yeah, they just said same foes.
Yeah. I like how Jill's, like, saying, all of you are idiots, when he's buying the bait. Like, he doesn't know that, and that's good, but...
You idiot. Yeah, that's kind of hilarious. Jagen.
Anyway, that's the most use that That's the most use that Jagen will have ever. And I do mean ever.
And it helps that they have the unique dialogue for every choice you can have.
Yeah. Alright, so... Let's put Gordon here because I like having archers fight archers for some reason. It's probably really dumb, but...
It is really dumb.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that.
Maybe if we put them in the fort, that would be much easier.
It also lets Mars catch up, so... Mars continues to be useless by being unable to kill this archer. And everyone else can't either, but...
That
There!
Though.
No! Not even Frey can save us. But he can do a damn good job trying. And Gordon can continue to pluck away. There. And that's literally everything we can do, so. And.
That lied, though.
And Gordon manages to successfully kill the archer, completely violating every reason to use an archer. But, you know what? I don't care. Frey levels up and gets, he gets speed, so I'm speed, HP, skill. It's not that bad.
That isn't that bad.
I mean, especially when he's getting results like this. I'm fine with results like this.
It's when you get empty results that would be a dubious honor.
I mean, Frey's like really good anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah. I first remember one time I got empty results in the early game. I was like, how?
Yeah.
It was really stupid because it's early game. You're not supposed to get empty results for level up.
'Tis the fickle nature of RNGesus.
Carol has 0% growth, but that's really late game and the major guy dang it, so that doesn't count.
Wait, I thought Carol had like really good growth. Maybe I'm thinking of wrong.
Carol had 0 growth but really good stats.
Maybe we're thinking of different guys, because I remember like one guy having like really massive growth, but you only had one level to use them on. Yeah.
They obviously want to put him on the either use a vulnerary or on Gordon.
He doesn't have any.
You
So
took one off Jagen.
I gave those to Mars.
Oh, so you just...
Yep.
That's probably more useful anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him on the...
Yep, he is forting it up.
That sounds wrong.
It probably does. Alright, so, it says so right here on the top screen, but
You have to stay on forts or more will come.
oh, no. I don't know. But yeah, you can take a hit.
Yeah, because Gordon.
Gordon can kill this guy in one hit! Because he is wielding a bow and the enemy is a flying.
So much for flying types.
Yep.
I would still keep him on the fort though.
I mean, probably, but I killed him. So, too late for that! The only enemy on...
My delay, yeah.
The only enemy left on the map is, can't kill him. So.
And the boss.
Oh. Well, the boss can't move, so.
Yeah, so we can just snipe him.
Ah! So, I think this is the only chapter where this is a concern, but always make sure you clear out your inventory. So I'm gonna discard this 30 iron sword because I don't know.
Because we already have a 40 iron sword.
Yep. So yeah, Gordon gets attacked and nobody's surprised, but he's still alive, so it doesn't matter. So let's kill this last. Bam! Ooh, that's actually like decent growth, I guess, maybe. Like there's definite HP, skill, speed, luck, defense. Could have used strength, but I'm not gonna be complaining.
Yeah. Plus HP is always a plus.
Alright, so first, let's have Frey take that silver lance from Mars so we don't have to suffer that ever again. Next, let's have Mars move in and go stab it. Because yes, much like how Gordon had effective damage against this flyer, the rapier deals effective damage to both armored enemies and mounted enemies. It's possible that you could use that to kill the enemies, or at least help, but I don't think Mars could survive all of his counterattacks.
Yeah.
So let's not. So it's a good idea to not risk that.
He has a javelin, so he can hit with if Ford been attacked him.
Yeah. So don't use Gordon to kill him because Gordon's probably gonna end up killed. And since the captain's dead, we can seize. You know, next turn. You already saw that. Drog!
Woo! Final chapter in the prologue done.
Yes.
Molinary.
And he is literally the most... He's probably one of the... Drog is probably one of the most forgettable characters in this game. Which is saying a lot because he's the... Because this game has a lot of forgettable characters.
Well, at least he isn't Kalam.
I forgot who that was, so you have a point there. And I remembered, but...
But that was a joke.
Yep.
I personally remember people were talking about the most forgettable Fire Emblem characters by game.
Alright, so... This is Jagen. He's, like... As far as we're concerned, dead. In New Mystery, the sacrifice Frey does turn out to be alive, like Romich said, but... I mean...
It's Jagen.
Yeah. As far as this run is concerned, Jagen is dead. We cannot ever get him back, nor would we want to because he is lame.
Yeah, not even the staff.
Yep.
Which is kind of stupid, but it makes sense considering the next game.
Yeah.
TS says he's all alone.
Yep.
Why do I always call TS a she?
It's probably because puts his gender down as female a lot. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, people on YouTube. TS Truth Seeker puts his gender down as a female. Shame him.
Well, at the same time, I can see where he's coming from if he's a pervert.
I'm a pervert too, but I don't put my gender down female.
Me neither, but you get the point.
Yeah, sure. Alright, so...
not everyone wants to
yeah.
be their gender, so...
Do you want to call it quits tonight, Romich, or continue on with with Chapter 1?
Let's call it quits for tonight.
Alright. So, this has been me streaming Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon with the assistance of Romich. Thank you all for watching.
And can you send me a link to the video so I can upload to mine as well?
Right. I will.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye.